One thing that I found in working with so many members is that a lot of people think that having some sort of conflict in your relationship is somehow signs that your relationship is on the way out. The problem with this thinking is that it is way off. Relationship conflict is pretty much the only way to repairing it. Every single fight is like a plug socket. You can either use it to connect or you can use it to rip the wires apart. So in this video, I'm going to break down how exactly to turn a volatile conflict into a repair that builds huge amounts of trust. So relationship conflict. Everyone has this idea in their head of this relationship where conflicts don't happen. There's no fights, there's no arguments, there is no sort of discords within the relationship. You're always seeing eye to eye and everything is perfect. The truth is that those relationships don't exist. And the reason why they don't exist is because you are both two separate people. If you are in a relationship, there will be some sort of discord because you are two different people. You have different experiences, different upbringings, different ideas on the world. There will always be some sort of conflict unless you are literally exactly the same person, which is physically impossible. So relationships by design are about conflict. It's how you relate to one another. That is the relationship in the middle. Everyone starts a relationship looking at where you match. And that's easy. That's the easy part. That's the honeymoon period. But the problem is that so many people try to avoid where you don't match, where you don't connect, and where there is a discord. The problem with this is that this is actually the point of connection that builds a relationship. And if you're trying to repair a relationship, you're trying to reconcile with a partner, this is especially important to know. Because oftentimes when you're trying to reconcile with a partner, you're trying to avoid fights, you're trying to avoid conflict. But what people often find is that avoiding this conflict completely means that the relationship is never rebuilt. It's never built in the way that it can be. It never reaches its potential. So I want to start by talking about why most conflict, why most fights end up ripping wires instead of plugging it in. So every conflict, discord, fight, argument, whatever you want to call it, is like a plug socket. Now, a plug socket involves one side and another side. Most people see fights as ripping wires out, as removing the plug from the socket. The problem is that with plug sockets, they are actually designed for connection. But most people see fights as the disconnect, not the connection. But the truth is the fights, arguments, conflict is what you make of it. So most people don't actually lose a fight because of the topic. They lose it because the way they handle it destroys the connection. So the words, the tone, the body language in the moment of conflict either reinforce trust or they rip it out. So when there is a conflict, when there is a fight, an argument, whatever you want to call it, the choice on how to handle it happens in seconds. And most people, without even realizing it, default to really bad habits that guarantee the disconnection, the breaking of the connection rather than the actual connection itself. And the reason is that when people in general get triggered, they usually do one of three things. The first one is they defend. The second one is they attack, or the third one is they shut down. And each one of these destroys emotional safety on the spot. And when emotional safety is gone, trust collapses really fast. So defending is jumping in with counter arguments or excuses or logical explanations for what you did, why you did it. Attacking is criticism or contempt, resentment, questioning your partner's character. Things like mocking, sneering, sarcastic put-downs, eye-rolling, all of this kind of stuff that conveys your own superiority, talking down with someone. Or the shutting down, which is stonewalling, avoiding conflicts completely, not talking, refusing to say anything, refusing to answer questions or to listen, or physically walking out, leaving the room. And these three actions are really common when it comes to conflict. If you watch any sort of reality TV shows like 90 Day Fiancé or whatever it is, you will see one of these three things when they have these arguments, these discussions, you'll see one of these three things. It's either attack, defend, or shut down. And the problem with these destructive behaviors is that these are the things that lead to the disconnect in those moments. And even some of the more mainstream people like John Gottman talk about these same things and often use them as warning signs that the relationship is in danger. Now, I want you to think about that plug socket metaphor. Falling for these three actions, they're not just bad reactions, these are wire cutters. Once they show up, the current that's going into the connection stops cold. So it's really crucial to know that during these moments of conflict, when you're choosing one of these three actions, then it ends up creating a true emotional or a logical discord. An emotional discord is things like feeling unappreciated, getting brushed aside because the other person is not addressing your emotional state right there. But then there's logical discords, which is things like disagreeing on the budget, on logistics, all of this sort of stuff. These discords are created when there's a moment of potential connection and you choose to disconnect. But now a lot of you may be thinking, yeah, I sometimes do that, but my partner does that, so they're causing the disconnect. The truth is that this is just a pattern. So because they're patterns, this means that these patterns can be broken because you're both involved in them. And because these patterns are learned behaviors, because they're learned, they can also be unlearned. So the first step is always spotting them, and they can be spotted mid-conflict. So you can stop this pattern in the middle of this pattern happening and stop the drift towards this permanent distance before it takes root. It always starts with awareness. Once you understand what kills that connection, you're ready to see that exact moment that disconnection can be turned into connection. It can become a doorway to building closeness, to building intimacy. So if you think about it this way, a conflict is a plug socket. What you bring to a conflict, it's a direct line to connection. You have that line to connection. And if you know how to use it, then you can always turn these conflicts into points of connection. The problem is that most people see conflicts as a proof that they're not a match, that they're not compatible. I've actually done a deeper dive on the myth of compatibility, which I'll link to up on the screen and in the description down below. A lot of people think that if we were truly compatible, then this wouldn't happen. But it's really crucial to know that conflict isn't the problem. Ignoring it or mishandling it is the problem. Every conflict is a potential to upgrade your relationship. And there's been a lot of psychological research behind this. So many studies talk about how conflict reveals blind spots, and working through these blind spots helps to turn both you and your partner into more capable, more aware people. And over time, you build this kind of relationship by bilingualism. I think that's a word. Basically, you become fluent in how the other person thinks, feels, and processes life. This is the power of conflict, that you build this language. When you recognize this conflict and you're handling it properly, you develop this language between you where you both build this language in understanding how each other thinks, feels, and processes things. And it means that you can connect, use that conflict as connection, and move forward. And this all comes through the language that you're using, the way that you manage your emotions. But you need to start by seeing the conflict for what it is, which is a potential connection. Once you start to see this, you can start to listen deeper, start to validate better, and start to stay curious even when it's uncomfortable. You stop avoiding trying to fight, and you end up getting into a much deeper flow of taking the time to understand each other. And once you start to understand each other, it becomes a lot clearer the path forward on how to navigate the challenges of the relationship. Something that I talk with members about a lot is getting comfortable in the discomfort. Relationships are uncomfortable. Of course, there are very many comfortable moments, but there's also a lot of discomfort. That is the conflict in the relationship. But the discomfort of that is where you start to grow the relationship. For example, a perfect example of this is one of my members recently was talking with their partner about how their partner found somebody in work attractive. Now, a lot of people would be like, wow, that's crazy. This is horrible. I hate that. They shouldn't be looking. The thing is that as the member started to talk with their partner, not getting mad, not getting crazy, and being able to listen and understand their partner, through the conversation, they realized that their partner was not looking. Their partner didn't have wondering eyes or anything like that. It actually turns out that she just liked the clothes that this guy wore. She just liked his style. And that's what she found attractive about him. It actually came out that she didn't really like him as a person, but she liked his style. So in this moment, a lot of people, before the conversation even started, would have freaked out, would have taken it as a hit on their ego or a threat to the relationship. But this particular member learned the tools and had the tools in order to be able to lean in, to be able to listen in that discussion, put aside their ego, and see this as a moment of connection. This moment is where their partner turned around to them and said, you know what, I've been in relationships in the past where I've said whatever it is and they freaked out, but you didn't do that. So this moment was really crucial in building that trust, because this particular member's partner realized that they were safe in telling their partner this. And it's built the intimacy and emotional safety. And the member, because they had the tools, realized that this was not some threatening moment. This was actually a moment where they got to build that connection with the partner. And now they're closer than ever. That relationship is stronger than ever. Once you stop seeing conflict or disagreements as a threat, you actually end up building a much stronger connection. But it takes a lot of tools. It takes emotional tools. It takes communication tools in order to navigate these conversations in a very strong way, in a way that strengthens the relationship rather than breaks it down. And this is what I work on with all of my members, is learning and building these tools. You don't have to be perfect. This is about building them and having a process in order to build these to be able to overcome the challenges that appear in every single relationship. And if you do want to start that journey as well, then join my relationship bootcamp, where you'll learn the same fundamentals that all of my members start with to start turning their relationships around. I'll drop the link in the description down below if you want to join us. But yeah, this is oftentimes what people miss when it comes to relationships. Relationships are quite simple. They're not very complicated once you break them down and understand how they work, and they become a lot less threatening. When you stop seeing conflict as this be-all end-all thing that's going to break down your relationship and start seeing it as a point of connection, then it becomes a choice on whether you build that connection or you disconnect on it. This is a choice, and it's a choice that can be easily made. And this is especially important if you're trying to reconcile and repair a relationship, is understanding that these points of connection are going to come up quite a lot, because oftentimes they're subjects that weren't even spoken about in the relationship. Once you understand about these points of connection, then it becomes a lot easier to repair the relationship, because you already have a list of topics to build the emotional safety around. And if that phrase emotional safety is not familiar to you, I've actually done a deeper dive video on that, but emotional safety is the foundation of repairing a relationship. You can't build a house without a foundation, and emotional safety is the foundation of the relationship house. So I'll leave you with that deeper dive on emotional safety, and I will see you over there.